Fans around the NFL will often refer to the draft as Christmas time. And yesterday, Santa sure delivered in the form of Joe Douglas. The Jets general manager, with 2 first-round picks to open the day, ends up trading up to add a third, and really just makes a splash in 3 different spots. Starts off the night for the Jets with the 4th overall pick. He's got Kayvon Thibodeau on the board, who some have mocked to the Jets. He's got Ikem Ekwonu on the board, who many have been saying for weeks was the guy they wanted. And you've got Sauce Gardner, who myself and many others have had high praise for, but we were told by a lot of the beat, by a lot of the pundits, that Sauce Gardner wouldn't be an option. Sauce Gardner is the pick at 4. The Jets get an elite corner who, as many of you likely know by now, did not surrender a single touchdown through the course of his collegiate career. An amazing stat in itself. Was part of an elite college defense, one of the best players in the country. Many regarded him as the top corner. Some thought Derek Stingley. Obviously, the Houston Texans, who went with Stingley at 3, agreed with that assessment. But in the end, the Jets come away with Sauce Gardner, a guy who some people who have unfairly, in my opinion, compared to Antonio Cromartie. I think in terms of playing style, that's a little bit off the mark, or a lot off the mark. But if you're just talking from a pure physical standpoint, in terms of height, in terms of length, he's got those long limbs. In terms of speed, he's got the high-end speed. That's where the Cromartie comparisons make some sense, just from a pure trait standpoint. But the Jets get Gardner at 4. They wait till 10 again to make another pick. No trade. Sounds like there wasn't really a lot of action. There were some rumors that there was talk of Deebo Samuel for pick 10, which the Jets said no thank you. And the Jets go with the second pick. Listen, if you've been listening to this pod, whether it's this one or the other Jet Nation pod that I've done for a million years with Alex and Dylan, I've said many times over, don't want a wide receiver at 10. Have to get an edge rusher. The Jets go wide receiver. Can I be honest? Wasn't thrilled with it. Good player. Don't dislike the player. The Jets go with Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. Zach Wilson, of course, tweets, what's better than one Wilson? 2 Wilsons. So now you've got, hopefully, the Wilson connection for years to come. Explosive guy, another sub 4.4 40. You've got Elijah Moore, who you took last year in the second round, ran a 4.32 at the Combine. And now you add Wilson, who ran a 4.38. Joe Douglas said when he arrived, pressure break, what was it, speed creates pressure and pressure breaks pipes. So he's building himself a receiving core that's got some real game breakers on there. So again, for me personally, didn't dislike the player, didn't like the pick in that spot. However, all is good because Joe Douglas, later in the night, pick 26, trades up. Because Jermaine Johnson, who myself, I wanted, many others wanted with pick 10, was falling and falling and falling. Nobody can tell us why. You're wondering, are there medicals? Is there character? What's going on here? Why is this guy falling? We don't know, but listen, sometimes guys just fall, and it doesn't make sense, and guys end up in a spot where you don't expect to see them. That's what happened here. The Jets said after the fact that they'd been trying to trade up to grab Johnson from pick 15 onward. They contacted every team on the clock, weren't able to swing a deal until they made one with Houston. With Tennessee. Houston. The Jets sent picks 35, 69, and 163 to the Titans for picks 26 and 101. Check out some of the online draft value charts. That was just about spot on. Really a couple points difference. So both teams should come away from that feeling happy. Jets come up to 26. They grab Jermaine Johnson, an edge rusher who really, Robert Saleh said it was evident on film. He's a guy, I look back, I think it was November, I forget who they were playing. I was watching a Florida State game, and I just tweeted out and said, I hope the Jets are watching this game because this guy Jermaine Johnson's unstoppable. He's, everyone, the pass rushing is what gets the accolades and it generates all the buzz, but he can play the run, and he's got a plethora of moves. He can use power. He's got a great spin move. I tweeted one out earlier from when he beat Ikem Ekwonu against NC State. So he's got a variety of moves, great motor. Again, should not have been there. The Jets said all 3 guys were in their top 8 on their board. Is that a little bit of lip service? Maybe it was. Maybe, but listen, this is what teams do. Every guy's the guy they wanted. Every guy who had a great grade. Every guy is exactly who they were hoping for, of course. But at the end of the day, they get a guy. Look, Daniel Jeremiah, NFL Network, had him as his 9th pick, or his 9th graded prospect, Jermaine Johnson. So the Jets go out, they get Sauce Gardner, they get Garrett Wilson, they add Jermaine Johnson. just a terrific haul. I mean, really, Zach Wilson has between with Wilson and Elijah Moore, Corey Davis. You've added the tight ends. You've got Michael Carter. He's got a ton to work with now, folks. And the Jets obviously didn't take the tackle as some had speculated. Mekhi Becton with a colorful take for Rich Cimini of ESPN New York. And listen, Cimini's reporting what he's hearing, and it upset Becton. I get it, so he comes after Cimini, but I don't see that Rich Cimini's done anything wrong. Check out the Twitter feeds; you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll keep the language clean for the pod, but listen. Obviously, Mekhi Becton was not happy with Rich Cimini's speculation / reporting / whatever. It's just a guy doing his job. I don't think Rich Cimini's out there making stuff up, about Mekhi Becton and what he thinks the team might do. He's hearing what he's hearing. He's reporting it, and that's that. I don't think he's got anything personal against Mekhi Becton. I know I sure don't, because I've been saying for a while I had put money on him to bounce back and have a monster season, and I think that O-line is going to be absolutely fantastic. Spot the Jets could address in the coming round. So looking forward to round 2, 3, and beyond, we'll actually focus on round 2 right now because you traded pick 35. Now you're at 38. Do you try to use that to package and move back and add another pick? Or do you pick at 38? Who could it be? Where do you look? Okay, you still need a linebacker. Okay, your secondary should be shored up. You can use a linebacker. You can use a running back. You can use some interior D-line. Sheldon Rankins only has 1 year left on his deal. Wasn't as good last year as I had hoped. Quinnen Williams, I would expect a big year from. John Franklin Myers can play a little bit inside, a little bit outside. But the Jets really do need to bolster that interior D-line. And in this class, there's not a lot there. So if you don't get one now, you're probably not going to get one later. There are a few guys that come to mind in this spot. Perion Winfrey, Oklahoma, is a guy who looked really good, especially the Senior Bowl, where the Jets got to look, up close and personal look at him. So could it be Perion Winfrey? Could you go Travis Jones out of Connecticut, the small school guy who was absolutely dominant in college and at the Senior Bowl? If you do go linebacker, look, how do you not love Troy Anderson? I mean, he might be the most interesting guy in this class. Played quarterback, running back, moved to linebacker, from outside linebacker to inside linebacker, and he excelled in every single spot. And the most athletic guy at Indy, I believe he ran a 4.42 for a linebacker. I would have zero problems adding that guy to the roster. Like I said, Chad Muma, Brandon Smith out of Penn State's another guy. Really good player, not as athletic as Anderson, but still an athletic player. Do you double dip at edge? I talked about this leading up to the draft. And I know, look, I get that they just took one, but I certainly wouldn't be mad if Arnold Ebiketie or Boye Mafe heard their names called and the Jets treated the defensive line the way they're treating the offensive line, right? Just like, we are going to build this thing and we're not playing any games. Okay, we're trading up for AVT. We're taking Becton at 11. We're giving Tomlinson huge money. The Jets treated the O-line like it was priority number 1 for a couple of years, and it's worked out well now. You look at this group, if they're healthy, this is a top 5 or 10 offensive line. I mean, you've got a Pro Bowl left guard, an ascending right guard. Again, Becton, the health is a thing, but right now, the Jets, and that could be a consideration later on, maybe a little bit of depth on the offensive line. There's some options, but I don't at 35, you're not going depth. The Jets want to find another starter here. Maybe you go Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker. I think Hall would be the more likely guy, but you want an explosive running back. We talk about chunk plays, explosive plays. That's what the Jets are putting together here, and I think that's what Hall would give you. So I know. Anyone who's watching this can see there are some really good options here for the Jets sitting there at 38. And they could probably move back to 43, 44, 45 and still get a really good player who can help them right away. So does anyone want to move up? We'll see. Obviously, no deals for the Jets on day one. Little surprised we saw teams traded up to get to 11, teams traded up to get to 13. But obviously, no one traded up to get to 10. So the Jets stood pat. And if you can't be happy with this, okay, with this haul, and what this does for Robert Saleh, it gives him his edge rusher. It gives him a shutdown corner. Everyone talks about the pressure on Joe Douglas. I think that with the talent he has acquired, if guys stay healthy, the pressure is on Robert Saleh. Hey, Rob, I got you an edge rusher in Carl Lawson. Bang, misses a season, now he's back. So now this season, all right, Robert, we've got you, Carl Lawson, we've got you, Jermaine Johnson, we got you a shutdown corner. We beefed up the secondary by adding another corner in Reed and white-headed safety. We've got Quinnen Williams. So pair of edge rushers, you got beef on the inside, you got a beefed up secondary. You gave up 500 points last year. You go out and you lay another egg on defense. I don't think people are going to be looking at Joe Douglas. These are consensus first round, day one, highly talented players. Joe Douglas has gone out and found the players. Now it's up to Robert Saleh and his staff to bring them along and make them fit this scheme and get them to play to their potential. And if they do that, and with the picks that are coming, I'm pumped. This round 2, 3, 4, this should be fun. This should be fun, and I expect, again, the Jets early on, linebacker, interior D-line, running back a possibility. Let's face it, everything's a possibility. We don't know what's going on in that war room. They may have completely different ideas than the pundits and the bloggers and the whoever's out there. But whatever they do, for me, call me a homer if you will. I don't give a damn. You get an edge rusher like Jermaine Johnson at 26 and a shutdown corner at 4. It almost doesn't matter who pick 10 was. It just happened to be a dynamic receiver who runs a sub 4.4. This is an A+ first round for me. And another, what appears to be another really good draft for Joe Douglas. Last year's class, obviously outstanding. The year before, not as good, impacted by some injuries. But on paper, it's all on paper right now, right? And I get this. You hear people, how can you grade a draft? Listen, it's a damn hobby. We're doing this for fun. We watch the players. We decide who we like, who we don't. If you take the guys people like, people say, good job. And if those guys turn out to stink, you go, I was wrong. Or in the case of some people, you pretend you didn't like them to begin with. At the end of the day, Jets upgraded at premium positions with premium talent. We're aggressive in trading up to do that. Great job by Joe Douglas. Robert Saleh, as I said, he's got some pieces on defense now and more to come. More to come from the Jets in Vegas and more to come from Jet Nation. As I said, be sure to log in and register with JetNation.com. Join the forums, speak out, and become a part of the most active Jets message board on the web, which obviously is buzzing today with these picks and will be for the days and weeks to come. That'll do it for now. We will see you again later. Great job, Joe Douglas. Go Jets.